saw the future. I saw the future. I saw the future.
Future. Future. Future. Future. Future. Future. Future. Future.
Hello and welcome everyone to a new episode of House House on Relate Radio. Today I'm gonna talk about and listen to Acid House together with Christian Thomas.
Welcome.
Yes, it's good to be back. I'm excited to talk and listen to Acid House with you. Actually, last year I think my second House show was also about Acid House, but we're a year further in time, and yes, I really like really like Acid House. And when I invited you to the show, I really had to think about Acid House, so that's why I decided to dedicate the show to Acid House again.
Very nice.
Christian, you're a resident DJ at Emmz and Paradigm, and the booker of Paradigm, and also a co-founder of Relate Radio. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's been busy days. Preparing for this, but also for for this weekend when we celebrate 12.5 years.
Yes.
So I'm also playing there, so preparing for this, but also preparing for the whole event and everything artist related.
Cool.
So yeah, busy, but doing good.
Yeah, busy DJing and also other stuff. Cool. So we're gonna talk and about Acid House and listen to some tracks, but I first wanted to ask you, when did you actually start DJing, and how did that evolve itself?
I started DJing, I think, around 18 years old. My dad, who was also a musician, he lived in the city center here, and he had a lot of friends over who also used to play in clubs, and me and my friends were interested in that and started going there. It actually was before my 18th, because sometimes when you were arriving early at these venues, like upstairs in Shadrach, then you could get in if you weren't 18 yet. They weren't so strict on the age.
Yes.
So yeah, we went there and we really liked it. And I bought like a Reloop DJ controller, and I started playing with this. And then I upgraded to Native Instruments S4, I think, and I just went on practicing with that, and I got a few gigs with friends at Subsonic at the time, and later at Pand. And then during one of the Paradigm festivals, I think one of the first ones that I went, I got a month before, I got some records from a friend of mine for my birthday, which is a month earlier. And I told that to a friend, and he said, "Yo, I have some techniques at my parents' upstairs. I'm not using them. If you want, you can lend them." So yeah, that was awesome, and I couldn't be happier that day. And then I got the turntables, and I really got into to digging and to vinyl. So from there on, it was no breaks, I guess.
And how did your music taste evolve? Because you started digging, and I think I could say that right now you're a house DJ with some electro and acid influences.
Yeah, definitely.
And how has your music taste as a DJ always been like that, or have you also been playing other stuff?
Well, I started with a bit more, I guess, popular electronic music. Also some drum and bass and dubstep, which I liked at the time. But when I really started DJing, it was basically house music. In the beginning, I was really going back to like the roots, the early Chicago, Detroit stuff, and I was really obsessed by it. I wanted to have like all these old school classics who got a lot of reissues at the time, and slowly I just discovered more into the European stuff. At the time, it was a bit more minimal, a bit techy, and then later it became more electro, and now it's a bit more up tempo. Yeah, and also a lot of modern stuff. I think also with when you're looking for artists, you're also looking at new tracks that are released. So that's why I also just run into a lot of new music, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, nowadays it's a bit of a mix between, I guess, not the really, really old school stuff from the US, but a bit more early 90s, and then with a lot of new stuff in between. Yeah, but it also had it always had some acid influence, I think.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes. and it all started with like house music, like.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And if you ask you if you maybe had a track that really got you that you had to think of like the old Chicago house sound. What track did you bring for us?
I brought a track. It's released on Trax Records, which is one of the two earlier Chicago house labels alongside the DJ International. It's from Ace and the Sandman, who are not that known, but are the same guys who started Virgo 4, which is a bit more known, I guess, to the house heads. And the record is called Let Your Body Talk.
Nice.
So it has some vocals, but I guess the acid in the track is also a bit like talking. When I like acid when it's also, it's maybe it can tell a story a bit. So it's really fluent on the background. I believe it's released in 1992, which is a year before I was born. But yeah, it's been in my bag for a long time. I don't play it that much because it's a bit on the slower side nowadays.
Okay.
But I still really love it.
Nice. I'm really curious to hear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let your body talk. your body talk, let your body talk. Let your body talk, let your body talk.
Yes, really liked it. Really nice.
Thank
Really-
you. Thank you.
Really liked the lightly vocals with the acid lines combined. It's really good combination.
Nice. Thank you.
Cool. So the next track I prepared is not really Chicago house. It's completely different actually. It's acid house with also a lot of other weird different noises in between. I really like this track. I think it's a lot of acid, but I never dare to play it anywhere.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'll play it here, and maybe after that I'll also play it sometimes at a place.
Cool. Curious.
Yes, and this was the track Donna. Yeah, what did you think about it?
Nope, I like it. It's pretty freaky. I can really see some person just really tweaking on the knobs, just
Yes.
really having a blast. And yeah, that's dope. Man. That's good.
Yeah, I actually used it, like I told you already, like a friend yesterday asked me, like, what do you mean with tweaked sounds? And then I let her hear this song. And then she was like, oh, okay. So, yeah, that's pretty clear now. How would you define acid house if you had to describe it? Because to my friend, I had to describe it. I was like, yeah, I let her hear the song, but it was a bit hard to describe. How would you define acid house?
I think it's house music with a Roland TB-303 in it, which is originally a bass synthesizer. And it was made as like something for like guitarists or pianists to like play along to and play a bass melody. But yeah, it really sucks when it comes to like an actual bass sound from a bass guitar. And yeah, it can be just a deep bass line. But yeah, when you tweak up the resonance, I think it can get really freaky. And yeah, almost a bit like liquid sounding. Yeah, and if that's a main sound in the track, I think you could call it acid house.
Yeah.
But I think there's also a lot of tracks who have a 303 sound in it, but maybe people wouldn't necessarily call it acid house.
Yeah, it's a bit hard maybe to hear the difference also.
Yeah. Sometimes very subtle, or when it's just a deep bass, then yeah, it's a bit harder to like tell if it's actually 303 or is it just another bass.
Yeah. Okay. And do you have any artists who are a lot of into acid house, which you really like, or DJs who you're inspired to, who also play a lot of acid house or make acid house? Or
I don't, not necessarily. I think yeah, I do really love the sound. So yeah, naturally it I think it's something that appears a lot in music I play. And yes, there are a variety of DJs who also play acid house, but not necessarily acid house, I think.
Yeah. Okay. And I asked you to bring one of your favorite acid tracks.
Mm-hmm.
And which one did you bring?
It's a track by AT, and now I forgot what it's short for, but it's an alias of an Italian guy, Ivan Iacobucci, who also played at Paradigm once. I think it's Planet last year or maybe the year before. Who has been making music from the early 90s, and I think this is a reissue, and the reissue of the track is like on the other side. It's a 1997 Shoots, which was like a white issue reissue, but this track, the other side, it's called a 2023 revamp, so it's a more recent track. I don't know if he had this already laying around, or it's a remix of the other one, because it doesn't necessarily has the same title. But yeah, it's a track that I like to play a lot nowadays. In the beginning, you don't hear the acid, but halfway through, it's
Appearing.
also it's appearing, and it's high and resonant, and also it's kind of singing almost. I think.
Okay. Cool.
Very recognizable for acid sound.
Nice. Yes, really nice track.
Thank you.
We can
Thank
hear a
you.
lot when you were playing. Maybe we'll hear it back sometime. I also brought one of my favorite acid house tracks. This one is from Mr. Ho. It's the Angel number 909, and then the acid house mix.
Good choice. It's still in my one list.
Nice, cool. And after that, I'm gonna play another track. I will tell something about that later. was the track Mermaids on Acid by Sedef Adasi. What do you think of it?
Very nice. I like it. A little bit of electro vibes.
Yes.
It's good. It's deep. It's mellow. Yeah. It's a good track.
Nice. Thank you. So now I wanted to ask you about a little bit about Paradigm. And Paradigm is a concept in the national house and the techno scene. And I actually remember very well the first time I went to Paradigm. It was in 2019 in December. And I had that time really little knowledge about techno or house music. And I really enjoyed myself, but it was also quite intense because it was my first really experience with techno. And it was a bit like, poof, this is a lot. And I was wondering, with booking artists for Paradigm, how do you keep a good balance between house and techno music? And how do you do that?
Well, I think like we kind of like the dates that we do events are pretty much set out, and we just look at every event to see how many stages we host, and then also about the date. I think that maybe parties that are national holidays, people want a bit more party music, maybe a bit more energy. Instead of parties that are on just regular weekends, for example. And then usually when we do, I think most of them are like 2 stages, with a few exceptions, that it goes to 3 or 5, 6, or maybe the festivals even like 8. We usually indeed give house and techno a stage, but I think you can also vary a bit in these sounds. There's different types of house music, like the modern up-tempo stuff, but also the older deep stuff. And then we just discuss artists that we like and just kind of like set out an idea and try to make it a nice line of energy and of music to make it kind of fitting.
Cool.
Sometimes stages it's less important, but I think sometimes it is. Yeah, and it's just choose people that you who make music or DJ nice music, which is not always a given that good producer plays a good DJ set. But I think you have to trust people that think can do a great job and tell a bit of a story and feel the vibe in the room.
And do you also then hear a lot of acid during so it differs per event, but do you often also hear the sound of acid back at Paradigm events?
I think that's almost every event there's acid because I guess the sound of the 303 gets also used a lot in techno, in electro, in house, maybe even some disco. I think you'll probably hear 303 every event. I think that's pretty well. You can be pretty sure of that.
Nice.
When you first went, why did you choose to go if you were not that familiar with it?
Well, I was more used to like normal going out, just like in the city center here, and I had been studying for half a year in Ghent, and then a friend of me was a bit more into techno, and she told me about it, and I was really like, really interesting. And then another friend of me was also like, well, maybe we can go to Paradigm sometime. I heard some good stories about it, so we tried it out, and it was a bit, like I said, a bit heavy, but I think from then on I really started to like more like house and techno music, and it really exploded when I started DJing. But like for the first time I was a bit like, whoa. It was like a bit dark. It was. I also remember it was during a night, and it was mostly techno music in my.
I think it was one room pre-New Year's Eve in the small room.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
so
techno
it was
event.
Full all hard techno. It was a bit like woof. but I had a nice time. So yeah. It was
Okay,
nice.
good.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
But I went to Paradigm a couple times. I really like the day events. Really like the outside area and stuff. So
I think of course a bit of sunshine makes people also DJs play different music than when you're in a warehouse. And usually the outdoor events also have more stages, so there's more music to choose from.
Yeah, that's really what I like also about Paradigm Festival,
Mhm.
that you can really go to the different stages, and at every stage there's a different vibe. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, really like that.
Good.
Cool. So you brought another one of your favorite acid tracks.
Yeah. It's a modern, more recent release. It's by a duo again. They're from Ukraine. It's Componente and Kurillo, and the track, I think this is Voyager. I think I like tracks that kind of take you on a trip and tell a story and keep it a bit deep. This one is a bit more edgy, but really like it.
Nice. I'm excited to hear it.
Cool.
Ezekiel 25:17. The path of the righteous man is beset.
And that was another track from Christian. Thanks for sharing. Really liked it. Really trippy. Takes you on a nice trip.
Thank you.
Yeah. So this was the first hour of the show, and we shared some tracks, and now you're going to share more tracks because you're going
Yes,
to play
thank
a
you
set.
for the conversation.
Yeah. So when you're ready, let's start.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
first introduce Mike Wall's music.